payroll and billing. We literally couldn't do our day-to-day function without it. So now that you have some background into Horizon, what it does, the next logical question is, how do I access? Well, there are different ways to access Horizon. You can click on the icon on your desktop, or you can click on the link on our Addis Wiki page. Here is the icon on your desktop. Looks like this. You just click on it, and then the system will come up for you to sign in. You can also navigate to our main wiki page. This is essentially our company homepage. You will see a rocket symbol. The rocket symbol and text that reads "Launch Horizon Now." You can create on that. You click on that icon to access Horizon. Once you click on either the icon on the wiki or the icon on your desktop, you will see the login credentials. And of course, you would put your username, password, check the box, I accept the terms and conditions, and then you click on log on. You should have received your username and password when you started at Addis. If you don't have it, please contact IT by creating a ticket. When would I need to use Horizon? Well, there are many reasons you would need to use Horizon. Let's look at a few of the main reasons. One, client demographics. Central intake is the area of Addis that will initially enter the client's information from the referral. So if you work in central intake, you are actually creating the client profile and putting their information and putting in their information. After that, the branches are responsible for changing and updating Addis's address, and updating addresses, date of birth, phone numbers, languages, and more. Authorizations. Central intake enters the initial information, including the authorizations. Authorizations are many times called auth. After that, any reauthorizations or changes are made by the branch personnel. Scheduling. Once we have the authorization from our clients, we can schedule our home care aides to visit the client and provide services. Branch personnel assigns home care aides to the client, makes changes to the existing schedules, and monitor open visits without a home care aide assigned via Horizon. The next one is payroll. Horizon also feeds directly into payroll. It's a bit different depending on whether or not you are a centralized payroll branch, or a decentralized payroll branch. Let's talk about decentralized branch. This is where you do everything for your payroll. You enter your timesheets and or monitor EVV, which is electronic visit verification. You verify and generate the visits out of Enter Services, and you complete the payroll transfer. Centralized branches. They forward their timesheets to the payroll department. Payroll department will enter your timesheets, monitor the EVV, they verify, generate visits, they'll complete the payroll transfer. What the branches are responsible for is monitoring reports to ensure payroll is correct. Okay, here's our first little question here. I'm going to stop here for a quick pulse check and see what questions you have about basic Horizon. I don't see any questions. I will move forward then. We're now going to move on to the process flow. I'm going to explain to you how Horizon is involved with the overall Addis business process flow. Horizon is at the center of everything we do at Addis. Process flow. We have the input. This is where referrals go. They're entered into patient maintenance, authorizations into supplemental patient maintenance, and specified orders is where we start our initial schedule. We're going to move to the next one. This is the work. This is where we're in interactive scheduling, making all kinds of changes, adding notes. We will also be monitoring the EVV, and assignment completion is completed. Some are done daily, some are done at time of payroll. Enter services is where we're going to validate and generate the transactions and the visits. The third part is the output. This is where payroll transfer comes in, billing, and follow-up. Okay, let's start with phase one, the input. We get a referral. The client's referral comes to us by the payer most of the time. We get from the insurances, MCOs, government agencies, etc. The client information is initially inputted into patient maintenance by central intake. So when you get that referral, you need to send that over to central intake, and they will key all the initial information in, and they do verification of the insurance. Authorizations and care plans are entered in supplemental patient maintenance. For the initial ones, our central intake will add the authorization and care plans when included with the initial referral. When they've put all that information in, central intake contacts the branches, and the branches, they will be able to create an initial schedule and specified orders. One thing I want to point out here, at this point, those schedules must have the correct service code to be able to bill and pay. And later in the presentation, I will discuss those service codes. All right, let's move on to the work stage. Okay, change to client or employee schedules are maintained in Interactive Scheduler, and that's maintained by the branches. This is an area that our service coordinators will spend about 85 to 90% of their time. As the employee visits the client, the visit is recorded. That is, if you are a branch that is on electronic visit verification system, that gets recorded. If you are a branch that does not have electronic visit verification system, you are still using the timesheets. The visit details are recorded and processed through assignment completion. Enter services is where validations are Enter services where validation and generation of transactions occur. It is also an area where we can enter non-billable by hand services and non-scheduled services by hand. So let's go to the output. All information that is payable in Horizon is batched in payroll transfer. Then that batch is interfaced into ADP for processing. The billing is processed for the ADIS services provided, and that's done by the reimbursement department. The bills are sent to the payer so that ADIS can be paid or be reimbursed. Follow-up is performed to ensure that all payments and collections are received for the visit. Most of these follow-ups are done in reimbursement. They may contact the branches to help or assist. Okay, any questions on the process flow? Okay. I don't see anything in the chat box. Please use the chat box if you have a question. We do have one. The coordinator. One of the questions is, do the coordinators have to know the assignment completion? The coordinators that are in the decentralized payroll branches, yes, they do. Those that are in centralized payroll do not need to know assignment completion. Who generates the payroll transfer? If you are in a decentralized branch, that branch does the own payroll transfer. If you are in a centralized branch, that is done here at the payroll, centralized payroll. Okay, thank you for the questions. I do have a question. How do we go to that assignment completion window? That is part of our payroll training, and we will be coming out with those in about a month. If you have questions about that, you can email addistrainingteam.com, and we can personally talk to you about it. Okay, well, we're halfway through, and now I want to give you a live demo of Horizon. So give me 1 minute. Okay, as you can see, I have my Horizon icon on my desktop, so I'm going to click on it. It's going to bring me to my sign-in, so you're going to need your username. And of course, that password. I'm going to click on I accept the terms and conditions, and then log on. Okay, you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. You should have production, and you should have train. You don't need all these other things that we have, the trainers have. Production is where everything goes in. Train, you can come in and you can play in there and not worry that you're going to make an error or mess up production. So I'm going to go into train. It's going to tell me I'm going into the training database. And I'll come up to our toolbar. Okay, I want to minimize that. This is our toolbar. Everything you want or need to know regarding Horizon is on this toolbar. I want you to think of the Horizon as a filing cabinet in the sky. We have tabs, just like a drawer would have. And under each tab, we have information. They also have created icons for the most used areas of Horizon. This is the patient maintenance. If you roll your cursor over, it will tell you what it is. This is patient maintenance. This is interactive scheduler. This is enter services. And this is Clinical Explorer. We at this time are not using Clinical Explorer. So I'm going to go through the tabs. Patient, we have patient maintenance. We also have supplemental patient maintenance. Scheduling. This is where you can get into interactive scheduler. We also have where you can print your patient schedules and your employee schedules. Clinical, some of you do certifications. This is where we would go for certifications. Billing and AR, this is where we have enter services, assignment completion. Some of you also know about account inquiry and adjustments. These are part of the training that will be for payroll. To come up to reports, these are Horizon reports. We have several reports that we use in Horizon, but we also have several reports that we have created, and they are in the Wiki, which I will show a little bit later. I'm going to move on to common files. Common files is where you're going to find Addis Personnel Utility. This is all the information on the employee. This is where we would put in our team membership. We put notes in there. We also track licenses. So that's all in the Addis Personnel Utility. Tools, those that are involved with any kind of certification. We have Document Manager in here. Administration, there really isn't anything in here for the field. Supporting modules, this is where we start our payroll. And we have, there's the payroll transfer, and there's several different things that we would go over in the payroll classes. We also have help. This is Horizon's help. It is not Addis's help. But it can help you if you're in certain areas to see what the error is. I'm going to come over and I'm going to show you a little patient maintenance. Okay, so when you come into patient maintenance, here we go again. We have tabs. We actually have icons. And then you see something that looks like binoculars. And the binoculars, it will tell you that there's a search. So you click on that, and this is where you begin to search for your client's name. You can put in the last name. And again, you can put in last name, first comma, space, first initial, if it's more common, and you can find your person. I'm going to highlight my client. Now the client has an identifier, and I want you to understand that this is different than your episode ID. When you want to find your episode ID, you would come into admissions and you would find the episode ID. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to go into the first icon, and that will be where you'll find patient information, addresses of phone numbers. You will find related parties. So if you're looking for emergency contact, you would just click by the name, click on the arrow. You will find the number to call for emergency contact. Again, we will be going through all of these in detail on the patient maintenance course. I'm going to come to the next one. This is our admission, update admission information. This is where referral data would go in, admission detail, it's admitted. We have discharge detail. So when we have to discharge, it's also in update admission information. I'm going to go to the next one. And this is our associate personnel, teams, physicians icon. And what you have here is associate personnel. This is usually the service coordinator, and they would be marked the role of CM or case manager. Associate teams, all clients are on one team, so they must be on a team. Physician, if we have a physician and you are a state that needs to have the name of the doctor, you can put in the doctor. There are many branches that can use a generic, and the generic is IHSS. Okay, we're going to go to the broken bones. This is our diagnoses. In diagnoses, we use the ICD-10 codes now. I am going to preface this is that if we have many branches that don't need to have the diagnosis, but for Horizon to drop a bill, we need to fill in that field, we would use R69. The other thing I want to say is that if there is no code on your diagnoses, don't guess at them. Coding is done by a doctor, a nurse, or a certified coder. So don't guess at it. Okay? Let's move on. We're going to go into specified coverage information, and this is basically where reimbursement or central intake would come in, and they would enter all this information. They also would verify the status, and they are the only ones who can do this. If we do not have this verified, when we get further down the line and we try to do payroll, it will become a red error, and we don't want red errors. The rest of these we don't use. This second finger or specified orders is where we start our initial schedule. Scheduling is a course that we have on our LMS, and you will all be invited to that. If you've already attended the 3 course on the LMS, you do not have to do it again. But all the new ones, you will be getting an invite. Anybody new or who has not seen it will be getting an invite to take those courses online. Okay, interactive scheduler. So we're going to come in here and we're going to find our client's schedule. Find the name, highlight the name, and you'll come into the schedule. So this basically is the schedule. All changes can be made here. The red ones mean that there is no worker attached. In the schedule, you can do changes. You can edit the event. You can edit multiple events. So there's a lot in this in Interactive Scheduler. The other thing in Interactive Scheduler is the whiteboard. Okay, and I'm going to go to the whiteboard to show you. This is all part of the courses, more detail on the ones that are online. It takes a moment to bring up, but you can see, you can run your cursor. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, I can run the cursor over the name of the client. You can see where they're at, what city, and what time. This is the worker. You can run the cursor over the worker and you will receive their phone numbers. So it's right at your fingertips. There's many things you can do in here. You can actually take and move a client to another day, and it will make all the changes for you so you don't have to go into the actual schedule. You should see it moved over. I want to move it back. The other thing you can do is if this person could not go on Thursday, we could bring it down, and we've made the phone call and Daphne has said yes. Okay. And it's going to be brought down. So all the changing and all that can be done automatically here. The other thing I want to show you is how to find out your open visit. So I'm going to come in here. Okay. So from here, I'm going to go to service orders, and I'm going to choose a day. I'll do today's date. We only want to see the open. I want to associate with patient, and I hit refresh. So these three are in need of having a home care aide. So we need to make sure that we attend to these, make sure that the patient knows that we don't have anybody, or make sure our customer service is working well, so we're informing them. But this is how you'll find that out, and this is how you work it. You double click it, come in. It takes you into that person's schedule. And where's the red? There's the red. And then the red is here, and you can work it. There's three things you can do with this. You can assign it. If your payer allows it, you can move it. And the last thing you want to do is cancel it. So that's basically an overview of the interactive scheduler. Like I said, we have courses that go into more detail. I'm going to go back to our presentation. Okay. Couple things you need to know about Horizon. We need to make sure we use all caps, no punctuation, and no PO boxes. Horizon information flows out to a lot of the EVV systems, and we have found that some of the punctuation, some of the other like PO boxes will not allow the EVV system to work properly. Okay, what questions do you have on the demonstration? I'll look into the chat box. Okay, I have no questions. All right. So we've gone through system overview. We've gone through the process. We showed you a live demo. And now we want to show you a very important topic, the Wiki. The Wiki is going to be important because it contains many of the training materials you will need for Horizon. We do not expect you to memorize everything we show you today. We want you to get familiar with the system, but more importantly, you know where to go to find training materials. Wiki. The Wiki is the ADIS intranet site. It should be the first site that opens in your default browser. For best performance, use Google Chrome as your browser. The Wiki contains many resources related to Horizon. We will be examining 3 in particular today: the training resources, the payer list, and the Wiki report. On the Wiki, there are Horizon resources where you can find both complete training guides as well as smaller quick sheets. The payer list. On the Wiki, you can also find a list of payers that will provide service codes for scheduling. And it's very important that you know where this is, especially if you're new, because if you're scheduling and you don't put the correct code in, we can have a lot of havoc along our workflow. And third is the Wiki report. These are custom reports created by ADIS using information that comes from Horizon. Examples of these reports would be, employee listing, client listing, and the service detail report. So we're going to start the demo on the Wiki. Give me a moment while I switch screens. Okay, down in my toolbar down here, I'm going to click, I'm going to get out of this. We're going to click on Chrome, and up comes the Wiki. The Wiki has multiple things you can look at. I would suggest if you haven't been in here, come on in, poke around. Today I want to show you where the training material is. So I'm going to come over to the training icon. We're going to go to training guides. We have New Horizon training. So we're going to come in there. And Horizon overview and Wiki course materials. So you would click on it, and here are the information you would need on this course. As we progress with the courses, you will see that we have patient maintenance. We will have information in here. Addis personnel utility. There's information in here. So this is where you're going to find your training information. So anything we've showed you on a course will be in this area. I'm going to go back out and show you where it's at one more time. You come to the training. We'll go to training guides, and then you go to New Horizon Training 2017. We are in a process of cleaning up this area, so make sure you go to the folder that says New Horizon Training 2017. I'm going to come back out to the main Wiki site. I want to show you where the payer information is, or where we can find those codes. It is here where it says invoice. Click on it. You're going to click on the IHSS McKesson payer update. This is where the most update information is for your payers. It is read-only, so I'm going to click on read-only. And as you can see, there are states down here. You would pick your state. And here we have information on the state. Here are your payer. Here's your plan. You look for your branch. And then over here, these are the codes you would use. I'm going to show you a little one. I'm going to go into New York. They have a lot more codes, different codes. And these are the codes they would use. So you can see that from state to state, even from branch to branch, you may have different codes for the payer and plan. This is the code that you would use when you set up your schedule. Okay. The last thing I want to show you is the reports. Yes, there's a multitude of reports in here. I am going to show you a few today. One is our client listing. So if you want to see all your clients, you would just click on client listing. You would pick your location. You can run it by teams if you choose. I'm not going to choose that right now. You can also run it by plans. Click View Report. All reports, they come up to the screen. You know, don't be afraid that it's going to print out on you. And then you can download this and print it, or you can print it. So you have your team, the name of your client, phone number, and all the information you need for servicing them. The ones that are blank here need to have teams put on. Okay. I'm going to go back out into reports. The next one is employee list. So this will be a list of all your employees. And you can choose status: active, terminated. You can include your admin, or you don't have to. Oops. Here we go. And I'm going to click View Report. Here is your information on your employees. Okay, I'm going to go back out, come back in, and the one report I do want to show you, one other report is called the Service Detail Report. This is a report that all of you will be using to monitor your payroll, to make sure that we are servicing and that we have received timesheets, or the EVV system has come over. So I'm going to come in. This is usually for the pay period. The last, you can change those dates if you want to go back further. But this will tell you what has been serviced, what we haven't received anything, the visit hours, any variances, travel hours, miles, errand miles, other information. You can actually download this and you can put notes in it. But this is something that you need to work, and payroll will be asking for it before they process your checks. This will be part of the reports, and we'll go into more detail. The report course. Okay. I'm going to switch back. Okay, is there any questions on the wiki? Okay, I do not see anything in the chat box. Okay. So today's topic was system overview, process flow, live demo, and we've showed you the wiki and demoed the wiki. What questions do you have on any information we've covered? Cindy, we will be going over, you have a question regarding the service detail report. That will be part of the Horizon reports and Wiki reports class. If you need more answers to that, please let us know. Send us an email. Matthew, you have, in regards to teams for case manager or service coordinator, if a new CCS takes over for an old CCS, is there a faster way to change the client team to a new CCS? Unfortunately, no. You have to go in and change it, end date it, and put in the new case manager or CCS. Anali Garcia, can answers to payroll questions from aides be found in Wiki or Horizon? Yes, they can. And there's a report called the service report that can be run, and you can run it per your employee, and it'll tell you everything that they serviced that went into the system. If they have a discrepancy, they need to look at their report and their timesheets or reports off of your EVV system and compare that. And again, that will be more part of the payroll. If you need more answers before that, please let us know and we'll work one-on-one with you. Okay. All right, I just want to review what we did today. We've provided an overview of the Horizon system. We explained how Horizon fits into our business model. We demonstrated the Horizon system, and we showed where Horizon materials are found on the Wiki. Okay, next step. We want you to go in and practice in the training environment. It doesn't hurt, just poke around in there. We will assign you to scheduling e-learning modules. Please take those as soon as possible. You are allowed to take those courses while completing the other e-learning courses. We have also uploaded the steps on how to get to the e-learning how to get to the e-learnings that are out on our LMS. And please register for the next course. That is patient maintenance. Here is our email, our training team. If you send that to Addis training team at addis.com, you can get to all of us trainers and we can get an answer. One of us will get you an answer. I just want to thank you for attending and your attention today, everybody. Please have a great rest of the day. Thank you.